Who's working harder than ever in Southeast Michigan these days when it comes to creating jobs? Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Our topic today is Goodwill Industries. Here to discuss it with us is its Vice President, Lindsay Chalmers. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
Before we talk about the awesome new way that Goodwill Industries is creating jobs these days, fill us in. What exactly does Goodwill Industries do?
Well, for almost 90 years, Laurel, our mission has been to put people with employment challenges to work. Okay, so that's what we do every single day. Now, we do it in a lot of different ways, but it's all about finding work for people. And the people, of course, that we deal with are the people who have multiple barriers and challenges that separate them from being employable. So we have to kind of restore their lives and get them in that pattern. So that's really what we do, and we do it very well, and we're going to continue to do it.
One of the big ways you did it this year, sort of taking an aggressive approach, if you will, was you bit the bullet and you opened a big old retail store in Canton, Michigan, and that hasn't been done in an awful long time.
No, we've been out of that business for at least a dozen years, and that's not traditionally so across the nation with most Goodwills, but you know, we just took a look at it and said in these challenging times we have to be more aggressive than anybody else because the people that we serve get forgotten. They're the ones that are way outside of the employment circles, so they don't know how to do that. So one of the ways in which we did it was to launch this new enterprise, and so it's a Goodwill resale shop, if you will, with gently used merchandise. It is the most fantastic place you'll ever see. We had an internationally acclaimed designer come in and do all the design work, who did it pro bono, okay, which was just amazing in and of itself. So when you walk into it, you'd think you're in Macy's, Kohl's, Target. You will not differentiate it between that and a thrift store.
But you can get a lot less expensive items.
You can get bargains by the armload. We opened up, our first day of business was December 11th. And there were 200 people waiting for the doors to open. Wow. And there were 6 cash registers flying, and they had 20 people in line at every one of them for over 12 hours. So it was incredible. So the emphasis is on, you know, value-priced merchandise, and that is a very big distinctive in today's world, but also on customer service, too. We have essentially 2 buyers, 2 types of people. One is the treasure hunter, which you probably would be. You want that piece of artwork that's going to show up on Antiques Roadshow that you paid $2 for.
I did all the designer clothes for like $3.
Well, I shouldn't tell you this, but we had some brand new Coach purses, brand new, authentic Coach purses with the price tag still on them. And they walked out of there in the first 10 minutes, I think, at $25 a piece. So they're there. But truthfully, the mainstay of our clientele are the people who don't normally have a choice but to go to an operation like that looking for the intense value. We want them treated exactly the same way as the high-end treasure hunters. So.
What makes this perhaps different than some of the other thrift stores? Is it sort of that awesome experience that you're going to have?
It is, and it's a combination of all 3. It's the appearance, the customer service, and certainly the value pricing. We want it to be an experience all the way around so that people come back time and time again. But again, the essence of doing all of these things is to create jobs. And this store, by doing this store and building it, and certainly Canton on Ford Road is exactly where you want because the traffic is intense out there. It created...
It's right by IKEA, we should mention. If you know where IKEA is, you're right across the street.
Yeah, it's a wonderful location. And it created 25 jobs that, quite truthfully, didn't exist before we started.
Very quickly, what's on tap for 2011 as we approach this new year?
Well, I think more of same, but I think it's going to be sort of honing, fine-tuning. But it's important just to tell everybody that Goodwill is a business in many forms, but we're a people business. Employment and training, putting people into jobs, taking the word less out of hopeless.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For more information on today's topic, you can head to goodwilldetroit.org. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Lindsay Chalmers, the Vice President of Goodwill Industries.